Welcome to the Fresno City College Psychology Department's video tutorial, Operant Conditioning. Not sure if it's positive punishment or negative reinforcement. For this video, I am assuming that you already have a basic understanding of reinforcement and punishment, but I will start with a brief review of definitions. What is operant conditioning, also known as instrumental learning? With operant conditioning, voluntary behaviors are learned as a result of the association of a behavior with its consequences. There are 4 consequences of behavior: positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative reinforcement, and negative punishment. Remember, reinforcement always refers to an increased likelihood that a behavior will be repeated, and punishment always refers to a decreased likelihood that a behavior will be repeated due to what happened after that behavior was performed. Also remember, positive refers directly to the presentation of a stimulus following the behavior, and negative refers directly to the removal or avoidance of a stimulus following the behavior. Positive punishment is often confused with negative reinforcement, so let's closely examine how they are different. Positive punishment introduces an aversive stimulus following the behavior. The fact that an aversive stimulus was introduced or added makes it positive. Positive punishment weakens a behavior. It reduces the likelihood that it will occur again. Weakening a behavior means it is punishment. Negative reinforcement removes an aversive stimulus following the behavior. The fact that an aversive stimulus was removed or avoided altogether makes it negative. Negative reinforcement strengthens a behavior. It increases the likelihood that it will occur again. Strengthening a behavior means it is reinforcement. You notice that both involve an aversive stimulus. The aversive stimulus is either introduced or removed. I'm a big fan of the television show The Big Bang Theory. It is always interesting to me to see psychology concepts used and misused in the media. In one episode, they correctly illustrate positive reinforcement, but mistakenly use the term negative reinforcement instead of positive punishment. Let's watch a 4 1/3 minute clip from the episode together, so that you can see what I mean.
Are you finished?
Well, thank you. How thoughtful. Would you like a chocolate?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Oh, sorry, Sheldon, I almost sat in your spot.
Did you? I didn't notice. Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
You're here a lot now.
Oh, am I talking too much? I'm sorry. Zip.
Thank you. Chocolate?
Yes, please. Oh, hey, Kim. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Let me take this in the hall. You'll never guess who they got to replace you with.
Okay. I know what you're doing.
Really?
Yes. You're using chocolates as positive reinforcement for what you consider correct behavior.
Very good. Chocolate?
No, I don't. Sheldon, you can't train my girlfriend like a lab rat.
Actually, it turns out I can.
Well, you shouldn't.
There's just no pleasing you, is there, Leonard? You weren't happy with my previous approach to dealing with her, so I decided to employ operant conditioning techniques, building on the works of Thorndike and B.F. Skinner. Yet by this time next week, I believe I can have her jumping out of a pool, balancing a beach ball on her nose.
No, this has to stop now.
I'm not suggesting we really make her jump out of a pool. I thought the bazinga was implied. We're just tweaking her personality, just sanding off the rough edges, if you will.
No, you're not sanding Penny.
Are you saying That I am forbidden from applying a harmless, scientifically valid protocol that will make our lives better?
Yes, you're forbidden.
Bad, Leonard. You know, using positive reinforcement techniques, I could train that behavior out of her in a week.
No.
If you let me use negative reinforcement, I can get done before we go to bed.
You're not squirting her in the face with water.
No, of course not. We're talking very mild electric shocks. No tissue damage whatsoever.
Forget it.
Oh, come on. You can't tell me that you're not intrigued about the possibility of building a better girlfriend.
I'm not. Penny's qualities, both good and bad, are what make her who she is.
You mean like that high-pitched, irritating laugh?
Yes.
You wouldn't prefer a throaty chuckle?
You're not changing how Penny laughs.
No, that would be incongruous. I was going to lower the whole voice to a more pleasing register.
Sorry, guys. That girl is freaky.
Come again?
Freaky.
Freaky?
Yeah, freaky.
Have a chocolate.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to make some warm milk and then turn in. I trust if you two are planning on engaging in amorous activities, you'll keep the decibel level to a minimum.
Of course.
Thank you.
These are so good.
Unbelievable.
Sheldon is using positive reinforcement, namely giving Penny a chocolate as a consequence of behavior that he wants to increase. The writers got that right. I was so disappointed that the writers had Sheldon and Leonard confuse positive punishment with negative reinforcement. I am sure that you were able to spot the mistake. The use of the squirt bottle was meant to reduce behavior, so clearly that is positive punishment, not negative reinforcement. A few seasons later, I was happy to see that they discussed operant conditioning again on The Big Bang Theory, and this time they almost got it right. Let's watch the 2.5-minute clip and then go over what they got right and what they got wrong.
Some psychologists perform operant conditioning with punishment. Maybe we can come up with a punishment for straying off topic.
Not getting to see who wins at pigeon ping pong comes to mind.
We could snap a rubber band on our wrists every time we get sidetracked.
Not bad. You know, in medieval times, idle chatter was punished with a device called the scold's bridle. It's an iron cage that's locked around the head and pierces the tongue.
If only we had one.
Oh, I'll check Amazon.
Okay, so we agree. Whenever someone takes us off topic, they get their arm hair yanked off.
And I really can't let that happen, or the girl who does my eyebrows will think I've been cheating on her.
All right, now, one benefit of quantum coupling...
Boy, no question. Who decides if someone's gone off topic?
I think it'll be pretty clear. If not, we'll take a vote. Oh, and also...
Ow! We didn't vote.
We didn't have to. That was clearly a tangent. Now, come on, back to work. If we're leaning towards quantum coupling, then we should...
You said quantum coupling. That made me think of the show Quantum Leap. That's a tangent, and it's your fault.
Ridiculous. Sheldon, I vote that is not a tangent.
Yeah, thank you. And now I owe you one.
Ow! That was your fault.
Hey! That is a lot of hair. And now I'm gonna hear it from Jenny.
Everyone stop. This was a stupid idea. Negative reinforcement isn't working.
I think you mean positive punishment. Negative reinforcement is the removal of a positive stimulus. It's a common mistake.
Negative reinforcement is really wrong?
Well, it's used incorrectly all the time. Even Bill Murray makes that mistake in the first scene of Ghostbusters.
No way. Not Bill Murray.
I'm studying the effect of negative reinforcement on ESP ability.
Huh. Bill Murray did get it wrong.
Jump ahead to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
No!
Leonard's right. We can't just jump ahead. We have to watch the whole movie.
In this episode, Sheldon rightly corrects Leonard when Leonard misuses the term negative reinforcement instead of positive punishment. At this point, you could imagine my excitement. However, Sheldon defines negative reinforcement incorrectly by saying that negative reinforcement is the removal of a positive stimulus. Arrgh! You know that negative reinforcement is the removal of an unpleasant stimulus. How about you answer a multiple choice question to test your ability to spot Sheldon's mistake? Sheldon said, negative reinforcement is the removal of a positive stimulus. You know that the removal of a positive stimulus is not negative reinforcement. You know that it is positive reinforcement, positive punishment, or negative punishment. Before you identify the correct answer, let me just say that I dislike the use of the word positive here. By using the word positive to describe the stimulus, it causes confusion. I would prefer the word pleasant to describe the stimulus to avoid confusion. Pause the video now to give yourself enough time to correctly identify the answer. The answer is negative punishment. While it is true that Sheldon rightly corrects Leonard in his misuse of the term negative reinforcement, Sheldon mistakenly provides the definition of negative punishment instead. Why so much confusion? I have identified two main reasons for the confusion. The first one has to do with how we define and use the words positive and negative. I've gone over this already a few times, so I will not go over it again now. I strongly suggest that you find different words to describe behavior and stimuli. Simply stay away from even using the words positive and negative, except to use the terms themselves. Positive reinforcement, positive punishment, negative reinforcement, and negative punishment. For example, do not talk about positive behavior or negative stimuli. Use words like desired or undesired behavior and pleasant or unpleasant stimuli instead. Then, always remember that positive refers to the addition of a stimulus following a behavior, and negative refers to the removal or avoidance of a stimulus following a behavior. The second reason is that people misidentify the behavior in question. If you look closely, you'll see that negative reinforcement and positive punishment often refer to related behaviors. Let me provide you with a couple of examples. Assuming it is cold outside, wearing a jacket is negatively reinforced by the ability to escape or avoid the cold. If he decided to leave the jacket at home, leaving the jacket at home would be positively punished by the experience of feeling cold. Wearing the jacket and leaving the jacket at home are two different behaviors with two different consequences. Tennis player Rafael Nadal reportedly bonked his head on a low doorway while warming up for Wimbledon. This illustrates that walking upright was positively punished by hitting his head. Next time he will duck down, because ducking down will be negatively reinforced by avoiding hitting his head. Generally speaking, I do not have to worry about hitting my head, because I am only 5 feet tall. I do, however, have to watch my step when I go for walks around the neighborhood, because many of the sidewalks are very uneven. If I do not pay attention to where I am stepping, I will trip. Tripping is positively punishing the behavior of looking up and around while I walk. If I look down at the sidewalk, I avoid tripping. Looking down at the sidewalk is negatively reinforced. Are you still confused? Please ask for help. As Sheldon said, these terms are used incorrectly a lot. Your instructors are more than happy to help you master these concepts. We want you to understand it and do well on your exams. This concludes the Fresno City College Psychology Department's video tutorial, Operant Conditioning, not sure if it's positive punishment or negative reinforcement. Thank you.